off button ready to go. That's what Bob Euchre did.
I'm still just laughing about Barrett. That really is so funny.
It's not Clay. He's at Mulligan's.
Yeah.
There's other people named Clay. Clay probably is at Mulligan's.
Good morning and welcome to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. We're glad that you're with us. Hodge, Misty, and Josh ready to roll. Last week was Zach. Yeah, Misty, snow day and delay and all that. Yeah. So we're back in the
Pre-planned a snow day. That's a little strange.
There was no way Collins was getting up here and getting up at 5:30 to get ready to, no.
I mean, they did on Wednesday. There were school districts that were like, "We're closing next 2 days." It's like you don't even know if anything's good, and nothing really did happen.
No.
FYI.
no.
I mean, I appreciated it because I got to work from home, so.
Well, and again, that's the thing about when the Soups make those decisions. It's lose-lose.
It is. It really
It is a lose-lose situation. And I'll tell you one thing, if we had wind days, it would be today.
Yeah.
If you thought any like your small children were going to blow away to Oz, today is that day. But today is the day. There's a lot going on. Jam-packed show, lots to cover. We got skating, we got Pirates, or Lady Pirates. We've got coaching changes. Misty's day finally came. I don't know if she applied for the coaching job for the Dallas Cowboys, but her Mike McCarthy crush, she didn't have a crush, but she crushed him out the door. He is gone, and so we have a lot to cover, lots to talk about. Legendary voice of baseball is gone on to be with the Lord, and so we lots to talk about. But we are the Hodge Pack, brought to you by Lytle Landing Cattle. Our guests appear on our Pest Pro phone line. They will be coming to life because we'll have guests in our Potosi Live studio, and so lots to cover. Josh, you were at one of the big events of Abilene last night, Dancing with the Stars. Since we are the local media, and I do have something to tell you. I can't tell you that because then y'all want to know. But I've got
we got secret stuff. We got to talk about it online. We're on air online. I don't know. Are we online? I guess we're online.
We're all the
This
above.
sign says on air.
Yeah, that's true.
We're going off the rails.
Yeah.
What's happening?
That is true. And you were the one that said you wanted to just sit back and not talk. Maybe it should be me. Josh, little Dancing with the Stars report, kind of like our own TMZ.
Oh, yes. I saw a lot of people, a bunch of people. I think that there were, I don't know, they said 1,400 people there, and it felt like it. But I mean, it's always a good event. It's good to just go out and see people and get the good food, meet and greet, and all of that. There are some people that are good dancers, and there's some people that aren't, and you can just decide that for yourself.
Yeah, and those that are watching now, some of you may have a hard time watching this morning if you stayed out too late. But of course, the good thing is you can go back and watch, or you can download, subscribe, rate, review on the podcast. But Dancing with the Stars last night, and of course, big shout out, I think JB Cloud and Greg Austin. I know for sure both Taylor County Stock shows this weekend, and so good luck to all those that have put a lot of time and effort. Kids and parents that put a lot of effort into.
Probably more parents than kids, really.
Yeah, always when I was coaching in Roby, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but there was always some people that you could tell that the animal was meeting the kid for the first time in the show.
Which way do I go?
Wait, whoa! Where's the mom or dad that used to kind of feed me? What are you doing here?
Stock showing is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, no.
That is hard work.
Well,
I did it 1 year and I never did it again.
Well, and that's the thing that Greg was talking about, how one of our buddies, Hag, was telling, man, these kids work as hard, or if not harder. I mean, you go to a football practice, a couple of hours, you live, maybe it's 3.5. I mean, there's a lot of effort going into it. And it depends on the animal.
It's 365. I mean, you're out there working and
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing, these poor kids that they get attached. You lose a football game, you move on. When you lose a cow or a steer or a pig, they move on to breakfast or restaurants and stuff. And so it's tough. And so, but anyway, they do such a great job, and I'm a big fan of what FFA 4-H teaches and does, the responsibility. And so twins, they're going to be showing today, Greg's twins and JB's daughter. So good luck to them. So anyway, all that's going on. Sports is happening. Monday's a big day. You got MLK Day. Do you have to work?
No.
Oh,
I
so
forgot I didn't have to work
Yeah.
on Monday.
Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder.
yeah, Josh is off on Monday.
Me too.
Inauguration on Monday and the national championship. It's a busy January 20th, and our buddy Zane, Zane's birthday, and so he's a frequent listener. So anyway, all that's going on. There's so much happening, and so let's dive into our Lawrence Hall Headline report. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll talk a little bit. Josh has one assignment. He has a lot of assignments, but one is to be sure we mention about the great voice that we lost yesterday. But I don't want to not miss this, and I feel like we have grown and continue to grow the Hodge Pack. We did mention last week, but we turned 6 last week. In all that, I say this: the U.S. House of Representatives passage of House Bill H.R. 28, Protection of Women's and Girls in Sports Act. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
You have daughters.
Yes.
It does matter. Riley Gaines has been on this fight, if you will, for a long time. And I thought, you know what? We can't talk about that because it is a big deal. It is the right decision. The fact that it's kind of like, I'll be honest with you, the fact that like Mario, closer, Yankees.
Oh, Rivera.
Rivera was not unanimous, correct? Somebody voted.
No, he was 100.
He
He was
was.
the only.
But
unanimous.
like there's been some like who did not vote unanimous.
Yeah, who didn't vote for Nolan Ryan?
Right. For those people, there were people that didn't vote. It wasn't 100 to 0, whatever the number was. But again, congratulations, great call. Moving on from that, and hopefully we'll see women continue to compete in women's sports. So big congratulations, shout out to them for making that happen, and I'm glad we can talk about that. The coaching carousel, there are only 5 jobs open now. Mike Vrabel is heading to New England, going back home where he played. I think it's a smart choice. I think it was no doubt that that's who was going to be the new coach for the Patriots when Vrabel, when that job came open. But the big news this past week, and we may talk about it later, was that the job at the Dallas Cowboys, home of the radio right here on 106.9, Mike McCarthy is gone. And the news was Monday night with Monday Night Countdown there in L.A. for the playoff game. Troy Aikman saying, it's not a coveted job. Deion's been talked about. I'm going to throw it at you. Your thoughts. We'll let Misty go first. Cowboys job is open. Who, what do you want, and is it coveted?
I mean, I think that I have to agree with Troy. I think at one point it was, and I mean, yes, the Dallas Cowboys is still, the most valuable franchise, financially. But in terms of, and I'm not a coach, but if I was a coach, I would want more power. We all know who's running the show in Dallas, and it's not the head coach or anyone on the coaching staff. And so for me, I have to agree with Troy that I don't think that job is what it used to be. And I mean, think about the coaches before. They kind of say that's where coaches go to die. Like, think about the previous coaches. Yeah, they got other coaching jobs, but what was that success like after they left Dallas? And so it's been interesting. Wish Mike luck, but I think we need a refresh, a rebuild in Dallas. And so I'm happy to see him go. And I know everybody's like, well, who are we going to get? There's nobody out there. Well, you know what? At this point, I don't care if somebody's on the couch. Let's just try something new.
You're telling me that Dave Campo isn't a household name? Wade Phillips?
Wade Phillips is a lot bigger one than Campo.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. It is. It's been a dead end for a while for a lot of people. Jason Garrett somehow got on TV, and he's terrible at that too. But
because you can't clap.
But I would say that as far as is it a coveted job? It's not coveted in the sense of like just this historic, legendary coaches rolling through there. There's obviously just been 2 coaches with the Cowboys that would be on that status, and one of them was short-lived. But
not by his choice.
Not by his choice. Well, neither one of them left on their own choice. But as far as like high profile, it's about as high profile as it gets.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it-
attention.
It is the most high-profile head coaching job in the NFL. I just don't know if a whole lot of people want it.
I would agree with that.
I agree, because it would take someone that would be willing to work through the process the way that Jerry Jones wants the process worked through. But Bill Parcells kind of got away with some stuff. Like, Bill Parcells was the guy the only, of the recent coaching run. I don't. McCarthy did have success and was well regarded, but Parcells was a legendary coach by the time he came to the Cowboys, and he made Jerry Jones stop coming to the sidelines, and Jerry Jones hasn't come back to the sidelines since.
Some of that may be age, and it's a lot longer walk down there from from the big stadium in AT&T.
But as far as who you're going to get, I think the list of names is pretty intriguing. There are some that Dion obviously is going to be big, splashy.
A lot
It
of
would be a
people,
very Cowboys thing.
but a lot of people think he is the few that can almost command and pull away some of the demand and attention and swag, if you will, from Jerry.
I do think it could do that. And I happened to just come across Drew Pearson was talking on the radio yesterday, and he was somewhat pro Dion being possibly brought in, because he said it would show a culture change, and that the culture needs to change, that there needs to be just a complete revitalization of how things work, and that Dion would be somebody that could do that. I think that Dion might just be too much of a circus. But then there are coaches that I think would be very good coaches, like possibly Robert Saleh that was just fired from the Jets, because he was a very well thought of defensive coach. The Jets defenses played very well when he was there. He just never had a quarterback, and didn't he bit the bullet for Aaron Rodgers deciding he wanted to come back.
And I want to pause on that, and we'll come back and start the next segment with that and roll into the Super Wildcard Weekend and all that, because I agree, disagree, and I'll put it all into a bow in a moment when we come back for segment number 2. Part of our Lawrence headline, I want to end with 2 things. One, breaking news yesterday from Big Country Preps, Brandon McCullough, longtime head football coach Russell Lucas announced his retirement. His latest stop is at Sweetwater, where he'll retire. Had a long stretch at Hamlin, took them to the state championship under his tenure there. Great guy. I've joked in my tweet that he'll probably end up working at THSCA, which is the Texas High School Coach Association. Great job. Always been a great leader of men. And so congratulations to Coach Lucas on a great year there. But then I want to say this, and we'll transition into, and we'll kind of let Josh kind of take over. But yesterday we lost this great voice. Yesterday, Bob Uecker at 90, one of the most famous voices and maybe famous roles in a sports movie that you could debate, and Harry Doyle from Major League passes away yesterday at the age of 90. And Josh, you put it in our text chain, no way you cannot not talk about Bob Uecker.
I mean, yes, he is a legend, and there's so many stories about him and so many things that he said. And he's obviously famous for that role in Major League and just a bit outside. But I think the behind the scenes with that is even funny, because he was basically just ad-libbing most of the stuff that he did in that movie. And I think what he said right after that, he goes like, just a bit outside, tried for the corner and missed.
And if you've seen the movie, just a bit outside is like throwing it from here, and you're playing, and you're supposed to land in Dallas, and you land in the Gulf.
And then as that continues, ball 8. But anyway, he's in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame as an announcer. He's in the World Wrestling Entertainment Hall of Fame, as he did ring announcing and kind of got in on some of the altercations and as a ring announcer, and just genuine funny guy. He played Major League Baseball, but wasn't very good, and spent a lot of time like making fun of himself. With one of the things that I heard him say once is someone asked him, "How do you catch Phil Niekro," which was a knuckleball pitcher, and he said, "Well, usually I just follow the ball around till it stops and I pick it up."
He was in the Miller Lite commercials.
Yes, that was iconic also.
In fact, I was just looking back in my pictures. You know, we went this past summer. We went to Milwaukee, got to play Whistling Straits and all those things. Well, we went to Brewers. We went to watch the Brewers play, and ironically, they were playing the Rangers. And they've got and I'll show you guys, and I'll post this on Facebook. I'll maybe send it to you or Misty. But they've got a Bob Uecker at the very top, and you go, and I'll show those that are listening, and you take a picture of Bob Uecker, and so he was such an iconic deal. And there's a lot more lines, and that was a safe. I mean, they weren't all bad, but there were some you just couldn't say it. Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening.
Well,
anyway.
And apparently he was quite colorful and would make inappropriate comments, make fun of people, stuff like that, by using the cough button. You know, as the people that called games with him to say, like, he just hit the cough button and like say something real quick in passing and then let go of the cough button. So whoever's with him is like trying not to laugh at whatever he just said that the audience couldn't hear. And he was just a very funny guy, and just he was also, like, if you remember, if you're of the correct age, he was the dad in Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah.
So he was a TV star, movie star.
Yeah.
2 Hall of Fames.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this. Bonnie, a juvenile delinquent in the off season. But no, Bob Uecker passes away at the age of 90. Legendary voice of baseball, wrestling, beer commercials, and literally everything in between. And so be on the lookout, find those. Watch Major League this week, just to bring back some memories. When we come back, we'll talk more about the NFL. Don't forget the bottom of the hour, Jeff Groban bringing some skating to Abilene with the Stars, if you will. We'll be back right after this.
Happy Thursdays, my profession.
How are you? Very good to see you. I saw you last night sitting a little in front of me.
How are you, man? Good. Happy birthday. I appreciate it. Good.
If you want, Jeff, you can sit right there
Right here.
till it's time.
Okay.
We'll have one, I think we'll do one segment
Okay.
and then you'll
Yep.
be on.
I'm glad y'all were over here. I didn't even know.
Isn't this so much
I know.
nicer
It's
than our
much
last?
better than downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I was talking to him this week. He says, I texted him. I said, so where am I coming? What's the address again? He goes right across from Chuck E. Cheese. I go, what? This is I used to spend a lot of time in here booking travel.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
yeah, we're very excited to be here.
that's really cool. Love the
Such an
setup.
upgrade from where we were.
That's good.
Were you at Dancing with Stars last night?
No,
I always see you there.
we were at I was at. We didn't go last night. We had a little pizza house in Clyde.
Yeah.
At Tracy's parents.
Heard that's really good.
Oh,
It was good. We ate there Sunday
So
after
good.
church, and it was good. I'm not even a big pizza fan, and it was
I'm
really
a big
good.
fan of pizza house.
But you haven't had skating place pizza yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a huge
Really?
pizza fan. I know that sounds so crazy.
Tracy's nephew, I guess my nephew, Peyton, he's got, I guess all kids go through a lot of question stages. And so last night we're eating, he goes, Hodge, do you like pizza? Yeah. Do you love it? I guess, yeah. I said, I love this one. Said, I'm not, anyway, but yeah, he's just all that, just a bunch of questions. Hodge, do you like pizza?
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we have
Do you love
heard kids say the darndest things.
Oh, no, you ain't been to the skating rink on a Friday night.
Y'all have to make a lot of pizza? Is it crazy?
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, kids say the darndest things.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, I'm
You
sure.
gotta hear some of the shit comes out of
Oh, I'm
teenagers
sure.
now.
Yes, I am
And
sure.
non-teenagers, 8, 9-year-old.
Oh, yeah. I am sure.
Michael Riley won last night. He raised $135,000 himself.
Wow.
You know
Goodness.
Michael?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I know Trina.
Trina, yeah. Well, me and Michael played softball together for 20
That's
years.
amazing.
So,
Which female one?
Jody won the
Jody.
best dance.
Uh-huh.
She was probably better. I mean, I've been around 15 years.
Watch the video.
What's her name?
Jody,
Herholzer, however you say her
Yeah.
last name.
she owns Body Works.
Mhm.
I mean, she is fit like you can believe.
Oh, yeah, and she's like this big, but
Yeah.
she's like stout.
And the guy she danced with, Aaron, he used to work for me for like 5 years. He's a skater. He's such a good dude.
Their video content was so fun leading up.
Yes.
I was like watching all their videos. They would just, their practices and stuff.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I could tell just by that it was going to be good.
He is such a good guy. But I mean, and Madeline Jordan was excellent too. Golly, she's built like a brick shit
Yeah,
house
that's
too.
awesome.
Yeah, she's very good shape.
Golly. But they had a problem with the coach the Cowboys. Who'd want to coach the Cowboys?
Huh?
Who'd want to coach the Cowboys right now?
That's what I said.
I mean,
Yep.
I think Ryan'd be just as good as anybody.
Huh?
I think you'd be just as good as
Exactly.
anybody.
I
Your
always,
name in the ring.
when I was coaching, I always wanted, when the Mavs job opened, I always just wanted to apply,
Just
just so
send
my
in your
resume
application.
came across, and Mark Cuban's assistant to the general
Yeah.
manager, the assistant to the travel manager, whatever, that would have to read my resume. Maybe I should apply. Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between. Brought to you by a lot of Lane and Cattle. We're glad that you're with us. Don't forget, the bottom of the hour, we got a big event to talk about. Jeff Groban and the Skating Place. He'll be joining us at the bottom of the hour. The Paint Creek Lady Pirates will be joining us as our Big Country Electric My Town segment. You may be wondering why. You'll learn their story. This group of girls has turned this program around. There was a time a couple years ago they didn't even have a team. They won 30 games a year before. After that, and Coach Moody and the Lady Pirates have done a good job, and they're making a big deal. They're driving in from Paint Creek and coming to the studio. So looking forward to having them as we talk about their season and how they're trying to turn the culture. We talked about culture around at Paint Creek, and so
Is that a school-sponsored trip or on a yellow dog?
yeah, they'll probably be on a school bus. No, actually, they got a nice new activity bus, and
Oh, kids
So-
these days, so soft.
yeah. Yeah, I know, Josh. That uphill both ways really stunk.
No, I never walked to school. I did walk to school some because it wasn't very far. Sometimes it was just
Sorry,
easier.
Luke.
But
Sorry,
but-
Luke and Barrett. You'll be walking to
They-
school
they-
on Tuesday.
the yellow dog is a rite of passage that kids.
I'm
know
not saying
don't
not
get
every kid should enjoy it, but because do you want to turn the AC on? Yeah, real
to.
quick. Let me get
Roll
these
the window
buttons.
down.
Let me get those two buttons and hope.
There's
And-
even seatbelts
Click,
now.
click, click,
Like,
click.
they didn't care about our safety or
Yeah.
Oh, no.
generations
You,
before.
you just
You just bobbed around.
you
like-
bounced, yeah, just like whatever.
And you were
Like,
just glad
you
I
didn't
threw-
want to touch the floor because God only knows what was down there.
Well,
Like,
and the other thing was, I was like, you would be hosed unless you had nobody across from you. But I was just tall enough, I could curl up on a bed, on a bench seat of a bus and sleep from Merkel.
Oh,
to,
yeah, that's like,
Merkel to Coleman.
You
Or,
just went across the
I
aisle.
was making sure like I'd drop elbows to get an aisle seat, you know,
Yeah.
like just.
and if you were during basketball and you wanted that one, the only thing that really worked at times was the heater. And if you
Oh,
had
it could get terribly
if you
hot.
had the seat that was right there where the heater was, you were going to be fine.
But then
but-
you couldn't breathe.
Oh,
So there
yeah,
was that.
yeah. So you had to come too after you passed out. But anyway, so the Lady Pirates are coming in a bus that was better than what Josh had to ride. So, but anyway, and we're glad for that. And so are those girls. But we were talking about it as we were in the Lawrence Hall headline report. Again, we appreciate Lawrence Hall, Gary Grubbs and Corey Foreman and all those folks at Lawrence Hall taking care of folks across the big country with their vehicles and service. Shout out to Jim Corbett. He took care of me the other day on getting some looked at for Tracy's car. And so we just appreciate them. But we were talking about the Cowboys coaching position open. There is still football on the field, and there is some absolutely fantastic football happening on the field in the NFL and the college. But I want to talk about, we never really said who you'd want. But here's my struggle with Deion. Not that I don't think Deion would be a good fit. Not that I don't think he would demand respect even, because that was my first thought. The 22-year-old, they saw what he did in college. What about, would they still feel enough reverence, if you will, for the legendary status that Deion had in the league? And really, whether he's a coach or a recruiter or all of it, what he did at Jackson State, he got kids to play and did well. And then you would talk about another guy that passed away, Coach McCarty from Colorado, real big believer, loved the Lord, started help with Promise Keepers. Last national championship, the only national championship Colorado won. He passed away this week as well. But he has brought Colorado back on the map. Like it, don't, whatever. So when you talk about culture, Dallas is already on the map, but needs a new culture. My struggle is with Deion. They need to make the decision as soon as possible.
Oh, yes. It's
Because you got kids that think they're going to Boulder, Colorado, and don't get me wrong, College Game Day was there, and they had the mountain behind it, and it looked glorious. And The Rock said, you can feel the electricity. But if Deion's not there, do I still want to go to
Oh,
Colorado?
no,
Like,
they just.
And it's not
You
like
have to
you can
start
say, you know,
refunding season tickets.
yeah, and it's not like you can say, you know what, Warren Sapp, you're a Hall of Famer too. We'll give you the head coaching job. Warren Sapp, you got a job because of Deion. So that's my thing. And then maybe I'm taking on the college, my former coach self. If they're going to go with Deion, they need to figure it out because now Colorado's in a mess.
No.
Well,
they're exactly
that is true, but and because of the circus that is Deion, it would be more exasperated, I guess, you know, with having the culture shock of him leaving Colorado. But that's the case at every school, every
Oh, I think
coach.
it's different for him.
I said it was different because it is more pronounced, but there are kids that are signed up to go to, I don't know, Northwestern Oklahoma State, that if that coach gets called by somebody to come be an OC somewhere and he leaves, they'll be like, well, now where am I going to go to school? You know, like, so it's not.
Yeah, but going to play for Deion or going to play for right now, if Bill Belichick made the decision, that was the other one. There's a $10 million buyout up until like June or after June or something. There's a date where a $10 million buyout is if somebody has to pay if Bill decided to go back to the NFL. I think it'd be the same for him. Yes, if I was going to go to Tech and Joey McGuire leaves or Joey McGuire gets let go and they change, my uncertainty is there a little bit, but I'm still thinking I've got a chance to play there. But I think when you're thinking Deion in Colorado, who do you replace at this late of the game? Do you go get Urban Meyer? Do you go get somebody like that? Because I would think you.
Meyer, geez.
But he would. I think they'd be a call.
Well,
Right or different, I think he'd be a call. So, but some other names that I want to get to the sports is going to happen because I think we've got a fantastic divisional game Sunday night.
oh yeah.
Looks like Ben Johnson may be going to the Raiders, which is ironic because there's no quarterback there yet. Kingsbury's been thrown out for Dallas. Kellen Moore back at Dallas. Your boy that I think we may need to get him on with Liberty Argyle Christian Academy of of Argyle.
The Argyle Lubbock.
Jason-
What?
Jason Witten's been tossed around.
I love Jason Witten.
Aaron Glenn has been tossed around. I just wonder how long it's going to take. And right now, you can't interview anybody because anybody that, for the most part, that you want to interview, they're still playing. The only ones that are not, the only one that's not is Jason Witten, because I don't know if he's teaching a class or maybe he has hall duty. I don't know what he does outside of football. And then you got Dion.
I
Well-
feel that Jason Witten gives me the vibes that he can handle Jerry Jones. Like, I like Jason Witten, but I just don't see that. I think it is going to take a big personality. I'm not necessarily saying it had to be up to the level of Dion, but I mean, who wants to go be micromanaged by Jerry Jones? I don't know. This is just we're in a pickle, guys. I mean, we're in a huge pickle if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan.
And I'd be curious to see if Mike McCarthy ends up somewhere in the success he has post-Jerry.
Yeah, yes, because
He probably will,
he interviewed
because-
with the Bears yesterday, supposedly.
He'll probably crush it.
I bet he lands in New Orleans.
But we're follow up with Sean Payton. The other should have been the Cowboys coach, but pieced
My
out.
friend Melissa that lives there, she commented on that and she goes, "Gosh, I hope he doesn't come to New Orleans." I said, "Oh, I bet you do."
But Jason Witten's name has been thrown out, and I also love Jason Witten. You know, his toughness and his general demeanor, I think, would go a long ways towards shaping things. But he doesn't have any, like, I mean, he's coached high school, but that's it. I mean, that's a big step. And obviously, he's played a long time at a Hall of Fame level, so he knows how to prepare. He knows how to but he does. There's a lot of difference stepping on the field and being in charge of that.
And I agree. And Dion started his
But he's not in
coaching
charge.
career.
He would be in charge.
Dion started his coaching career at Trinity, whatever his school.
Yeah,
But then he went to the HBC and went to
yeah,
Jackson State.
he's stepped it.
He has
you know,
stepped up. He's not gone from.
But he doesn't have a long resume. He's got a big, personality, big resume.
And what's he gonna do? Not when Hulkamania runs wild on you, but what's he gonna do when his kids aren't in school? I mean,
Well, that
Travis
is
is gone, Shadur is gone, and Shiloh is gonna be gone. What kind of recruiting class will year 3 be?
when it's not bring your own
Kids to work day?
Yeah. But honestly, I think it's going to be Kellen Moore, and I'm not
I
excited.
hope not.
I'm not excited about that. But I started thinking about it yesterday. It was like
I would take Cliff.
he's one of Jerry's guys. You know, he was like the coach in waiting when they hired McCarthy. He made McCarthy keep
He's the
Kellen.
non-ginger Jason
I was
Garrett.
just
I
about to
know
say
that makes
Yeah.
it perfect.
Yeah.
Jason 2.0.
And
The
he was.
t-shirt.
And
would
just
be
like
awesome.
just like Jason Garrett was a well thought of OC that there was talk that he was going in the right direction, and you know he was the Cowboys head coach.
Garbage.
And but Kellen Moore was, I mean, he was boy wonder. Like everybody wanted him when he was the Cowboys offensive coordinator. He and McCarthy did not get along. He bounced to the Chargers. That really didn't work out. The Chargers hire a new head coach. They send him packing. But now he's still in the playoffs. And he can't officially be interviewed. And
He will be after this week because the Rams are going to win.
shut your evil mouth.
You want the Eagles to win?
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I gotta pick somebody to win in an eliminator.
Oh, there you go. That is a struggle.
And I already blew it last week, and it's on me. Or subject change. I'll stop. But no, I don't want the Eagles to win, but they're probably going to.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you cool off and get our roller skates on. So when we come back,
No one wants to see me in roller skates.
actually we have
I don't know.
I would.
actually
Probably
we have
the
a
emergency
whole.
room because the bill would be quite large.
You're in luck. Hendrick's down the hall. I don't know if they've got anything. Hey, when we come back, Jeff Groban will join us and we'll talk skating and something fun that we're doing from the Hodge Pack that these two guys don't even know about yet. We'll be back. And it's not skating, Josh. You're fine.
I was like, is it skating?
Dude, you guys are hilarious. Misty, this is why I love you. You take a light, girl.
Yeah. Yes. I was just like,
That's
oh,
so funny.
it's so frustrating.
to pull down. I did literally get.
Yeah.
It's just.
All right,
that's
so.
what I'm saying. Even Jason, I mean, nobody has a chance. Nobody has a chance.
All right, so
Here, you let my
Yeah,
stick up.
you stick in on it.
Okay,
Okay,
I mean, I was skating there just the other day.
she was.
I personally like to skate. I actually rollerblade.
You
when I
wouldn't
go.
believe how many people came up to me last night and go, "We were at your place last weekend. We were at your place a couple
Yeah.
weekends ago. My kids had a blast. Oh my God!" You know.
I should take my kids up there. I hadn't thought about it.
Really?
When you
I-
do, we need to
I-
take Collins. 'Cause
I
Collins
never
likes to
was
skate.
good at skating when, when I was younger, you had the skating parties and stuff.
Yes.
And back in the day, they like always had it at church, they just go skate
Yeah.
in the gym, and I was like, man, I'm terrible at this. But
I'm not.
Seriously, we
I-
should. Hey, we should have a Hodge Pack night at the skating.
There you
place.
go.
We should all go.
Hey, honestly, I
Wouldn't that
agree.
be fun?
But that's one of the things that I want to do in 2025, and I'll just have to
Like
break
site
down.
visits.
I want to do more road shows in 25.
We'll
Yeah.
do it over there.
They're
That would
fun.
be so fun.
We got 20,000 square feet.
Yeah. I think we can make that work.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be so fun.
where you repping at tonight?
I took the night off.
Did you?
We're going, Zane Sykes' birthday. My birthday's all this week, and we're
Yeah.
going.
I talked to him last night for a while. He's building that new house right around the corner.
No, that's Zach.
Oh,
But yeah,
that was Zach. Okay, Zane was on the radio last week, right?
that was Zach.
That was Zach. And
They're all.
I get them mixed
I get
up.
'em
I'm telling you.
confused,
Well, if it helps, they
They
ran
look
out of
very-
Z names and went with Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look very similar, and their names are close enough that it's kind of like.
You
Yeah.
probably thought Zane was Zach's dad.
Yeah.
Zane.
No,
isn't
'cause
that-
I know Steve.
I know, but that's happened where they thought Zane was the older one, right? Like,
Yeah.
I saw him sitting in last week.
yeah, Zach.
Yeah, I took a snow day. Well,
Did you?
schools were delayed.
Yeah.
So Ryan's like, just bring Collins up here. I'm like, she is not gonna want to get up at
Yeah.
5:30 in the morning.
Molly
get ready and
Wanted
get
to come
here.
to the radio show last week. She wanted to be on the show, and if school was canceled, she was going to come, but like, I didn't have time to
The 10 o'clock really.
finish the show, drive her back out there, then drive back to work,
Well, that's what I almost told Missy. I said, I don't know, let Colin sleep in till.
Well, I was gonna do that. Well, then Clay left. He went in early.
And then I thought,
that
I don't know,
morning.
Collins may not feel comfortable waiting by herself.
Yeah, so I was like, just forget it. But that was fun. It worked out. Y'all had a great show. You didn't need me last week.
Oh, we always miss you.
It was great.
I wish, did you hear, my question?
What was your question?
I said, we don't want to not have,
Oh, what was it? I didn't hear it.
oh my gosh, what was it?
The,
Because I said it was good, because I stumped you.
You did something, now I can't remember what it was, I'm stumped again.
See what happens when you get old, John?
yeah, this is a
I do
problem.
remember thinking like, I don't know how to answer that.
Oh, it is with the TGL, the Tiger Woods Golf, who would your people be?
Oh, yes.
And one, I got Josh's sports thing he would change back in history, Nelson Cruz. And then I
Oh.
knew I had Bill Murray. He had John Daly, Bill Murray. Zach went the golf route with Jordan and Scheffler. I went with Michael Collins and Van Pelt.
That's fun.
Yeah, if I'm gonna play golf, it has to be fun.
Huh?
If I'm gonna play golf, it's just,
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting beat 10-1 in
Yeah.
that last week.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring. Thank God Kevin Kisner gave him a big old laugh.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between. We're glad that you're with us this morning. Don't forget, download, subscribe, rate, review. And again, if you're heading out to the stock show barn, hope you and your kiddos have a great day and the sale goes well tomorrow. Joining us in our Betosa Live studio, he's been in before helping promote, trying to get people out on the referee, on the basketball court to officiate. Talked about this last night with my family about how that's one of my regrets that Jeff and I didn't get to call together. But joining us from the skating place, Jeff Groban, big day coming up next weekend. And so you were there last night.
I was.
We gave, Josh gave his TMZ report from
TMZ.
from Dancing with the Stars. As an alumni, what's your little recap?
It was a great show, first of all. The dancing was really good. I mean, you know, they kind of got that down to a science now about getting everybody in, getting everybody seated, and they put the numbers up to go get food. It was really good, man. I'm telling you. I mean, The only glitch was the voting thing, that
Right.
the Q code didn't work, but I stayed around, got home about 11:45, and
Yeah.
man, it's just a lot of fun.
I always
man.
call it, it's kind of like the adult prom. Everybody dresses up to the nines and gets ready. And some you're like, ooh, what outfit lost to that one? Because how did that one win?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always it's a good time. And
They said they were talking about it last night there when they're Micah and them were interviewing, and they were talking about it should boost the economy in Abilene, Texas in January
Oh,
every
yeah,
year
yeah.
because of all the hair, makeup, nails, dresses,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
no,
So
no
yeah,
doubt. But Jevis here, again, owns the skating place, been there how long?
28 years.
So 28 years there, Josh, and a lot of us were talking about as kids, you went and kids still going today. And so you've got a big event coming up. One of the things, and I always joke about, I don't care what profession you're in. If you're a coach, if you're a banker, nonprofit, endowment, foundation, co-ops, you mentioned Zach Sites, they have a storage. There is a conference for every industry out there. You go to a skating conference.
Yes, every
And-
year.
And there is one. And so, and I think it's one of those arts and things that when you realize it's been around a long time, and when you said y'all went not long ago,
Yeah.
the family fun and all that you can do for a reasonable price and have a good time. And so I say all that, but you're kind of a big deal when it comes to, everybody knows you as the official, but I mean, skating and I mean, doing it a lot.
Yeah, well, I've been skating for 50 years.
Yeah.
And when we got the skating rink, I got heavily involved with going to our conventions and knowing, I mean, how I learned what I know now is asking questions. So the first convention we ever went to, I asked 150 questions a day, but that's how you learn. And then you go to these meetings, you go to these seminars, and you learn, go, oh, that's how you make pizza. Oh, that's what you do about this and that.
Well,
So-
and how do you draw? Because
Right.
let's say you have the guy or the parent or the
Right.
sibling that can't skate, won't skate, isn't going to. But what is he going to do while sister skates? Eat some pizza, hang out here. We'll get you
play
taken
some
care
games.
of. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and that's what you learn, and that's what I learned. And it literally took us, I'm going to say, our first 5 years to really, really get our niche and see what we could do in Abilene, Texas.
Right.
You know, because what we do in Abilene, Texas might not work in Dallas or Louisiana or Pennsylvania. Everybody's got their own little market that you can do there and what their parties are and things like that. So it took us a long time, but we got it down to a science, and man, Abilene's been great to us for 28 years.
So have you just always had a passion for skating? Talk us through the history of how you thought, I'm gonna buy the skating place.
Okay, so when I was 15 years old, we lived in Atlanta, Georgia. And a friend of mine who lived down the road from us, we hung out. He said, hey man, there's a new roller skating rink getting ready to open on Friday night. And I said, I've never been roller skating. I was born and raised in Cincinnati, so I used to ice skate. I said, yeah, let's go. So we went on this Friday night, and it's a skating rink that was called Golden Glide. It's actually a legendary rink now. So walked in, put skates on for the first time, saw floor guards out there doing all these tricks, and I was mesmerized. That's what got me into it. And I said, I want to be like that. And I did. And I worked my tail off. I went skating, played basketball in high school. After basketball games, all my buddies would go out and do their thing, drinking and smoking. I went skating.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kept you out of trouble,
Kept
I
me out of
bet.
trouble. So that's how I learned, became a passion, lived, ate, and drank skating.
Any broken bones in the early years to skating?
Not really, but I spent a lot of time on the floor because I would try all these new tricks and do all this stuff, and started getting in contests and started winning a lot of these contests within a couple of years. Then a couple of years later, we moved down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and that was the what's the word I'm looking for? There was
Mecca.
Mecca of skating. There were probably 30 skating rinks within 50 miles of each other. So I found one home rink. We would, in Fort Lauderdale, we would drive down to Miami every Saturday night and skate at Tropical Roller Rink, because that's where all the good skaters were. 300 people nonstop for 3 hours, all good skaters. So that's where you learn how to go fast. That's where you learn how to, really skate.
Wow.
So did that. And then within the last 6 years, I've been going to Atlanta, where I was from. A friend of mine who owns a skating rink there started this shuffle skating thing. And that's what when you skate fast and you go, it's called shuffle skating. So went for a couple 3 years, met people, and I said, I want to have one of these in Texas. So one of the girls who's one of the main women in this skating shuffle thing, her name is Michelle Garman. She lives in Florida. She's actually still right now going through cancer. And we talked 3 years before, this will be our 3rd year having this. And that's how we got into it. I said, I know we're not going to have a lot of people come to Texas because most of these are in Atlanta or in Florida where people could drive.
Right.
Everybody, we have a couple of people that drive out this way, but most people have to fly. So our first year we had like 60 people. Last year we had a little over 100, and this year we're expecting a lot more.
Wow.
So the word got around. I am very all pro skating. So all this we do for the next weekend is for the skaters.
Right.
I coddle to them. I set up everything, get it ready. Last year, everybody came. On Saturday morning, we did lessons for the kids. Nobody had ever done this before. And 40 or 50 of the skaters came out to help. And they got more out of it than the kids did.
Right.
And adults did that came to learn how to skate. And then we all got in our cars and went to Potosi Live and had lunch for 2 hours. We rented out the whole top deck. And they absolutely loved it. They made a buffet for us. Old Moy and their gang out there just took great care of us. And we got on the stage with our skates, started skating around where people were out there eating lunch, and they loved it. So
let's talk about that. That's next weekend.
Right.
And talk about what that will look like if people want to watch, skate, and then we'll talk about the lessons and what we're doing with the Boys and Girls Club.
Right. So Thursday night is what we're calling meet and greet. There's no charge for that. So some of the people fly in on Thursday, some of the people fly in on Friday. For the people who fly in on Thursday, we just open up the rink for a couple hours. The DJ brings all his equipment. He has a guy that drives out here. We have probably the best DJ in the skating industry coming. So they bring his equipment. He sets his equipment up on Thursday night. Mooyah Burgers brings out hamburgers for everybody to eat, no charge. Meet and greet for a couple hours. Get everything set up, skate a little bit. And then Friday is our first night. It's at 8:30 till midnight. So our regular hours change. We do our night session a little bit earlier on Friday night. And we have some of the best skaters around the United States coming. We have people from 12 different states coming. I talked to Michelle, the girl who helps me run things. We have people coming from California, from Arizona, from Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio, Alabama. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's Friday we do a skate. Saturday morning we come back and we do the lessons. And we've been announcing this for like, I don't know, 2 months.
What time are the lessons? So 8:30 to. So if we show up on a Friday night at 8:30 to whatever, what are we?
You're gonna see some of the best skaters in the United States come skate. And when the DJ gets up there, hooks his stuff into our sound system, we have a great sound system. And I mean, you'll see people just going around and around, but it's amazing to watch because they skate this close to each other.
And it's instinct. You made a good point earlier, mesmerizing.
It is.
And I have been there just with my kids, and all of a sudden a couple of them will start going, just local folks, and I'm like just watching them, and it is insane.
Yes.
I mean, their skates are so close together. I don't even know how they don't fall, and they tumble, but it is mesmerizing.
And that happens every once in a while. That they get a little close or somebody skates it and there's a little big an accident, so that does happen. But to see when I started going to Atlanta and I started realizing and seeing all this, I said, this is just amazing. In Atlanta, they have 300 plus doing that at the same time.
Wow.
We won't have that many, which is good. We'll probably have, I'd say, between 100 and 175.
Oh, but that is crazy.
Yeah, but it's absolutely amazing. I do it because I love it.
Right.
You know, this is when I first started skating in Atlanta and in Florida, that's how everybody skated down there. So I've been doing this for 45 years, almost 50 years. And just to bring it here, this is the 3rd year. It's amazing. Everybody loves it because I take care of these people. You know, we do what I know because I'm a skater. So we know what they want. We know what they want to do, and that's how we set it up to make them feel good.
So what time, talk about the Saturday morning and
Okay.
what the lesson.
So the lessons start at 10:30 on Saturday morning. What we do is all these skaters will come out, and we have some advanced skaters, all advanced skaters, but the people who are coming for lessons are kids, teenagers, and adults. They all want to learn how to skate real good. So I'll have a couple of girls with the advanced skaters, a couple of girls or guys with the skaters who are just learning, and a couple people with medium. Last year we did it, and we had about, I'm going to say 25, 30 or so people come for lessons. And like I said, the skaters got more out of it than for teaching them. And it just went so smooth. And we'll have a handheld mic, and everybody will just tell everybody what to do. And it's amazing. And like I said, if you're a beginner, just want to learn how to skate, or you're a little more advanced, we have it all. And it's from 10:30 to 12. It's only $5. $5 to be able to skate with some of these people who are legends. And a lot of these people who come skating are all over TikTok. So they're just huge. And there's so many events around the United States that all these people go to. So it's just so much fun.
Well, and we're excited. Again, I haven't told y'all this, but we're actually sponsoring 15 kids from the Boys and Girls Club to go to the skating lessons next Saturday. So I reached out to Tyler and said, hey, do you think you'd have any kids that want to go? And I thought this would be a cool way for us to partner with Jeff and partner with the Boys and Girls Club. So we're sponsoring 15 kids to go to do lessons on that Saturday. So
yeah, I met with Ryan, and I saw him at the golf course one day, and we talked about it. And I said, that's a great idea, because we have the Boys and Girls Club come during the summer, and a lot of the rec centers will come once or twice during the summer. So that is going to be perfect. And like I said, we've been announcing it, and I've got a lot of adults that are coming that want to learn how to, bounce a little bit, do a little bit of this and all that. So it's going to be really cool. So I always just get so excited talking about skating, but then just to be able to do it.
Right.
And then we've got a guy named Mark who does a podcast once every couple of weeks. I was on a few months ago, and it's the coolest thing. So he'll sit there and talk to you for 2 hours. We talk about skating. It's unbelievable.
And that's what's cool. Like there's a conference for everything. There's a podcast for everything.
There is.
There, no doubt.
Yeah. So Mark's just started this past year, and I think I was number 15 or 16. I think he's had 30 of them so far. And all the skaters listen to it, and they see what you say, and they, I talk to them pretty much the whole time about how I got into it, what we do, how we do it, and things like that. So
it's impressive. If you've never seen it, highly recommend watching it and going, because it's just like nothing it's hard to explain.
Well, to me, it's the equivalent of whether you watch X Games. We go skiing, but you see what these people do on jumps or snowboards. You watch golf, and it's fun, but then you watch what professionals do, just like when the Women All-Pro Tour comes. What those girls are able to do is still amazing, and there's still a gap between them and Nelly Corda. It's the same thing when you go to watch these skaters, the professional and the tricks and the things that they're able to do.
And synchronize.
It blows your mind. So be sure you get out next week. Thursday night's free. Go watch, hang out. And of course, if you've got some kiddos or you're an adult yourself, $5, lessons 10:30 to 12 at the skating place. And Jeff and no doubt his team and all the folks coming in will take care of you. Jeff, appreciate you taking time to come in this morning, and hopefully there'll be a lot of rolling going on next week.
I hope so. I appreciate y'all having me, Ryan. I listen to y'all every Friday. It's so good. You guys crack me up, first of all, of your discussions, but it's so good. And Abilene should be glad that we have this.
I appreciate we appreciate that. All right, so when we come back, we will open up Misty's bag, and she's had a week off in the snow day. No telling what she's coming with. We'll be back.
Cool.
Let's get a picture.
Let's do it.
Are these our people?
Let's go.
Yeah. I wonder if I can ask them to take a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, come on in. I was like, this will be better than us trying to sell it.
Jeff. Nice to meet you.
Yes, I'm Misty. Nice to meet you.
Josh Greer.
Nice
to meet you, Dawson. Nice to meet you.
We'll get, if you'll go here, because we will get that KLGD in the background. Just a quick, okay, we're gonna, so we can. I know, that's so cute.
We sold so many shirts.
I was like, we're almost all in grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh took his very off.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
I'll get posted.
You bet. Same here.
Thank you so much, and plug
Thank
this
you.
good place.
Appreciate
Good.
you so much,
See
Josh.
you.
Very good to see
Yeah.
you. Good job, man. As always. I'll finish with you rest.
Yeah.
Just hold up, Ryan.
I will. Yeah, I'll text you to figure out how to get you that for them, for the kids.
Yeah, just.
Okay.
Are you?
Oh, it's back here. Sorry, hello, this is it? No, you're good. If you want to look behind, this is what we've got going on there.
We are Facebook Live, there's a rally toe.
Rally toe. Need a lot of rally.
It's more like a shooting rally.
We're gonna need Misty pretty quick. It's her bag. She's got 30 seconds, I think Misty can. What's up, Robert Cheek? Oh.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between. We're glad that you're with us. Appreciate Jeff Groban coming by again. Of course, he's got his big shuffle skating event. We'll share it on our Facebook page. Misty will do that. But
Did you pay him to compliment at the end there? Was that?
No, that's just what listeners do that enjoy the show.
No, I enjoyed hearing him talk about the skating, the passion with it. Like that's
Well,
like,
and why he got into it and how like he saw, it's almost like you hear, well, why did you become a singer? Well, I went to one concert and I saw somebody playing the guitar and I said, I want to do that one day. Well, he saw these people running around, flipping around, jumping to know what they do in the roller skates. And next thing you know, Groban is doing that.
It's quite incredible. Like, seriously, that's when he said mesmerizing, I was like, he is not wrong. And there, I mean, to compare it to like, airplanes that fly this close together, obviously not the same, but just meaning like, how do you do that?
But you think about the Red Bull people that do those trick shots and trick flying and all that.
Yeah, like, I just
You
don't
remember
know.
when the ESPN had the pool?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So anyway, but it was good stuff. But now, again, Missy's back and she has
Back and better than ever.
That's what Greeny says. And it's time for this.
Speaking of mulligans, I was just there.
No.
No, shocking. I know it's so shocking that I was at Mulligan's. I was just there on Wednesday. Want to remind everybody about Wing Wednesday. It's BOGO night, so you pay for 6, but you get 12. I mean, it's such a great way
That is
to
a great deal.
feed your family. Staff's amazing. Actually, the officials were there. I'm sure a lot of
So it was
Ryan's
an
friends-
official wing night.
It was official wing night. They had a whole table of officials there. It was super cool. And Winky, I just seen him. He was officiating the Wiley Abilene High game that came down to the wire, 3-point basketball game. So much fun. All the things that are going on at 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive. So get on out to Mulligan's. And little teaser, I can't announce it now, but there's something new coming. So I'll hopefully be able to announce it in the next couple of weeks.
Can't wait.
I know, it's exciting stuff. So, all right, today's question is, what sport doesn't get enough recognition that you actually enjoy watching?
Tell you what, I'm gonna pause for station identification to give Josh and I a chance to think. Again, Missy's bag. What sport do you enjoy that doesn't get enough attention?
Mhm.
There's a lot actually, but it's trying to figure out like which one is the best is hard.
I think professional football.
Doesn't get near enough.
Stop
attention.
it.
I mean, it really, the fact that they really should get their own network.
Well, I'll tell you, cricket. I've never watched is that a match, a game, a set? What do you
That's
call
the
it?
thing, because some things I think that we enjoy watching are games, they're not sports. So, I think pool,
is that a game?
Is a game. I think.
Cornhole?
I don't think that's a
Cornhole
sport.
is on TV, and that is one of the just if you ever try to play cornhole, then you watch it, you'll just be like, man, I should probably never play again. Because those guys just throw it in every time, and it's
Right. They're like, oh, why do you bowl a strike every single time?
Yeah.
Because bowling is impressive, and all I can think of is Kingpin and the Big Lebowski when that guy, the different.
Rolling Rocks Tonight.
Yeah. Bowling's probably one of those impressive ones, but I don't watch it enough, or I do watch it.
No, something that you watch that no one else does.
Yeah, so you're
basically.
saying that I actually watch it and can't tell anybody that I do.
Well, it doesn't get enough recognition.
Figure skating, just kidding.
I knew Hodge was a figure skating fan.
I like to watch trick shot billiards, but I think that's a game. I don't think that's a sport. You know what I mean? So a sport, it has to be a sport.
Do you think a lot of this comes Olympic time?
Yeah, I think so. I would say curling is a game, not a sport, but it's an Olympic.
It's a bar game
sport,
that happens to be an Olympic sport.
Right. So again, I'm talking
very cold
sport. Bar. Do y'all want me to go first? I am
prepared.
Obviously,
you're prepared. I've got several thoughts, but go ahead.
Okay,
I want to hear what you say, so it will make me think if my answer is correct or not.
So I love to watch.
I just wish. Hang on. Sorry. I wish we had a camera, and I know we do.
I was like, we do have a camera.
But I just the people, the expression of she looked like Buddy the Elf. I know him on how excited she is about to share this story. But please go ahead.
I am not embarrassed to admit this. I love to watch slam ball.
What is
the trampoline basketball?
That's a sport?
Yes.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know either.
There's trampolines on the basketball court, and they're just
you pay $20 an hour to go out there and
Tracy Jimenez, is that your sister?
That's my sister.
She just said curling.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
I agree, figure skating. So now Tracy and I are now figure skating, curling people.
But I don't know.
Which I'm not on the other.
The slam ball, I don't know. And trampolines kind of freak me out. When you get super, super high and you get that tickle in your tummy. I don't know. Slam ball is my jam.
Secretly, the only ESPN that Misty has at her house is the Ocho.
The Ocho. Yeah, it's what?
She discontinued ESPN
I've
Plus.
never heard of slam ball.
Yeah.
I really thought that was something that people just did when they went to the trampoline park.
What?
Yeah. I really love that.
So it's very underrated.
Y'all never.
Okay.
Y'all
next
never.
time it's on,
I really enjoy. I hate to admit this, but I really enjoy rooftop diving. Y'all don't do that? You don't jump off a roof into a pool?
Have you heard of slam ball?
No.
What? What is happening?
I will
Maybe
have
I am
to.
just watching the Ocho too much.
Yeah, we will be Googling that also. Along with promoting roller skating, we will also be promoting and looking at
I think
that.
it's called slam ball. Now I'm questioning my own, is that what it's called?
Your
Y'all seen it.
Your sister just said, is that why you got Paisley a trampoline?
Yes, I did.
She is training
to be a slam ball player.
I love basketball.
It'll be very obscure.
I will tell you, every time Corey Jenkins pops up during this, I'm always curious.
See if he has heard of slam ball. I think that's
No, he just I think hockey is underrated, but only underrated in the South.
Well, and that's a different way.
I do get nervous when Corey texts me what he's about, or not nervous about what fun he's about.
Okay, well, I will disagree with it. It can't be any of the 5 major sports.
And the NHL has made a comeback from almost being bankrupt.
Because they're on ESPN. All the sports rundowns every day. Even Major League Soccer, is kind of part of that. So, and I don't even know how you play soccer.
So what would be one that you?
Well, I like, and it's something that, there's different, I guess, disciplines, different genres of it, but shooting sports are something that I enjoy, that I've never done other than go to a clay shootout out here for some, charity or something like that. I've never done it, but I see some of those people that do it when they, like run around and shoot, the steel targets and knock them down and stuff. It looks very fun, and I've always been like, man, I would like to do that, but
I'm gonna throw this one out, and I don't think it's not one of the 5 major sports. It is in high school because it's, taking over a lot of things. But and I'm gonna say men or women, so it's not just that. But volleyball / beach volleyball and how hard they spike a ball back to somebody else and the number of times that it actually gets returned is impressive to me. Because I'm sitting there going, I would probably move. And
Just get out of the
they're
way.
just, I think that's pretty impressive. I would probably throw out volleyball. I don't know if that would count as one that's kind of a hidden sport.
I mean, I think I'll let you have that one. And I did, just so y'all know, I looked it up and it is called slam ball. It's a fast-paced, full contact and gravity-defying hybrid sport that combines the elements of basketball, football, hockey, and gymnastics. Because, oh yes, it's physical. So you just need to watch it. It's 4-on-4. It's on a spring-loaded court with trampolines. How does that not sound like such
It
a
sounds
powerful-
fun.
Sounds fun.
It does.
I've just never watched
I
it.
will be saying,
Like I said, it sounds like
After
something
the
to do with the
show.
trampoline park.
Yeah.
Pay
it's
$20 an
so
hour.
interesting to watch.
Tackle anybody you
And
want.
the table tennis, I was like, ping, ping, ping.
Table
Ping
tennis,
pong,
ping pong is,
It's insane.
and another one that's escalated more because of Rona and everybody started playing is pickleball.
Yes.
If you watch those people play pickleball and they get to them and they keep going, it's unbelievable. Tracy, your sister's, she is loaded with them
I
right now.
love it.
She is now put cheer. I
Oh.
watch cheer. A lot of high schools are
Oh,
now
yeah.
trying to compete for state championship in cheerleading. So there you go. Find your sport. Let us know. Join on with Tracy and let us know what sport you think is very underrated, needs to be appreciated more that you watch. One that is a struggle is the NFL. And when we come back, we'll talk about the games coming up.
I am shocked that y'all have never heard of slam ball. Have y'all heard of slam ball?
I've never heard of slam ball.
What? Y'all, I'm literally pulling up a bit
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
I'm gonna look it up as soon as I get.
Like dead. Okay, top plays of slam ball.
Top play.
Look, it's literally like gladiators, but basketball. Look at that. He just took a shot. And like that's legal.
Like little children?
Yeah, well, it's like, look, see? Bam.
I've never heard of it.
So you can just tackle people.
Yeah, it's very physical. There's trampolines. I mean, look at this. Look at this, Hodge. And you can just like trust
The announcing
people.
even sounds
That's
like
cool.
dodgeball.
It is. It's very dodgeball-esque. It's so, I don't know, but I did get excited about
And
it.
now we're here for the Slam Ball Championships in someone's backyard.
On the Ojo.
Jason Bateman is basically the
I mean, yes. I don't know, I'm like, I don't know. Just like, you're jumping and like bouncing and I don't know. It seems
really
fun
fun.
and kind of like, you have to have some skill to do that.
You have to have some zero fear.
And yeah, like you're literally getting trucked.
The zero fear is
I don't know. It's like gladiator basketball with trampolines. It's so weird. I don't know. I'm just very surprised that I am
Never
in
heard
the
of it.
minority here and could never.
The vast
never heard of this.
minority.
I know. I'm really
You
shocked.
literally nailed your own question. And
I
got,
actually did.
and got extremely excited about it.
I don't even know why, but I did. We definitely need to get a picture of this too. Are they? Yeah, they're our next segment, right?
No, they're gonna be at the end, so you leave.
Okay.
You gotta get out of here.
Well, okay.
Because we need to I wanna be able to do NFL and we gotta talk about the college national championship.
So I'll just leave after
And-
this next segment.
No, you'll have time. You wanted to leave at 8:40?
Yeah, I mean, somewhere around there. I mean,
Because honestly, we probably, unless Josh wants to stay and kind of look at what Dawson and Elise,
Iris and Bench. You can say Iris and Bench.
do you want me to tell them then come in and sit?
Yeah.
And then just what we're on.
We are bringing the action to you in the NFL, who's not underappreciated, or maybe some may think it's overrated. A lot of them think they're overpaid, but other than that, they bring it, and they are going to have an opportunity to bring it this week as the divisional round is set up for tomorrow and Sunday. Real quick, wild card, Josh, Misty, the wild card was super wild card weekend, but was not very super. The only good game was the Sunday night game, Commanders and the Buccaneers, and unfortunately, Baker did not bake. Had a tough handoff, early, a bad transition on third and very short. They had to kick a field goal, and so not a lot of great games. Super wild card weekend. We talked, Josh, with Zach. The upset was the Texans beating the Chargers. That really was the only surprise that happened that weekend. I wasn't shocked about the Rams and the Vikings because I picked the Rams. I say the Rams are the most dangerous team right now in the NFC. What was y'all's thoughts, real quick, of Super Wild Card weekend, and then we'll talk what we got coming this weekend with, I think, probably one of the best. I'm going to say matches, and I'll tell you why in a moment.
Well, I jinxed myself. I cursed myself. I really, really blew it. Because I talked bad about the Vikings all year long, and I picked them to win.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that is bad.
So that was like a sport you didn't like all year and started watching.
I just didn't like them enough to go very far in the playoffs, so I picked them in week one, and it bit me in the rear.
Did they not do what you and
They
I
did exactly what I said they were going to do.
all year
That's
long?
right.
We've been saying that the
If there
Vikings
ever-
are not for real.
If there ever was a time.
Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. I said it 17 times, and it finally came true.
Well, you should have said it 18, and maybe you wouldn't have picked them.
It was
yeah.
so bad, but wasn't it so validating because you and I
No,
have
because he
been
lost his
well,
survivor
maybe
pick.
because you picked it wrong, but in terms of you and I having this discussion all year, every week we're like, they're falling off, and we're like, oh my gosh, they keep winning. And then, oh goodness, it was so good for me and validating to see them get beat.
I
by the Rams.
actually did feel validated by it. I was disappointed that I
That
I
was your
picked them.
consolation prize.
Yeah, so because they looked awful.
And beat badly. Like
Right.
it wasn't close. I mean, it was just they could not do anything, and I got so much validation. It made me so happy.
The Texans looks really good too.
They did.
Yeah.
Josh Herbert threw 3 interceptions all year long, threw 4 in one day. He said, "Hold my beverage, watch this. I can do
Yeah.
that." I think the chance for that is the Chiefs. The Texans have got to do that to Mahomes. I don't think he will. That's why I don't think they'll win. And then, of course, the Commanders-Buccaneers game was good. And then really that was it. Eagles took care of the Packers. They did not look good.
The Packers
at
did
all.
not look good.
And so we set up this week. We've got people that have been playing each other. Kansas City played Houston earlier in the year, won 27-19. We'll talk more about the Ravens-Bills, but the Ravens beat the Bills 35-10. Josh Allen, 180 yards, no touchdowns. Lamar Jackson had 2 touchdowns, and Henry almost had 200 yards on the ground. Rams and Philly played earlier this year. Philly took care of business 37-20. That was the week that Saquon went for 255 yards. And then, of course, the Lions and Commanders will play tomorrow. So tomorrow's games are the Chiefs and the Texans. It's kind of like Ric Flair. Until you beat the man, nothing changes. I don't see that changing. I think the Commanders have a better chance than people think against the
Lions.
The Lions.
They're all hurt.
Well, they're hurt. They are getting David Montgomery back. But my thing about that game is, will we see the bye bother them like we bothered the college people? Or is it David Montgomery enough to say, you know what, maybe the best thing they could have?
Well, they definitely have reason to want the bye to get healthier and try to kind of bounce back a little bit. But I don't know. I really don't know what it is with all the buys. It seems in baseball there's been issues where the bye team loses. In college football, obviously that happened. I don't ever really remember hearing that be a thing in the NFL, and they've had buys in the
Right.
playoffs for a long time. So I'm not gonna venture out and say that if the Lions lose, it was because they were on a bye. But really the Commanders surprised me. Not that they beat the Bucs, because the Bucks were not that good, and
But I think it was a toss-up game anyway.
Yes.
Either one had a chance.
But the Commanders surprised me with how well they played and how good they looked overall, because they looked that good at the beginning of the year, and the last half of the year they've looked very just mediocre, and they came back and looked sharp and played well. So that made that game, I guess, more exciting to me than I was really initially thinking. Whoever got that first round or second round against the Lions, I didn't think it would be much of a ball game, but the Commanders looked like they could make it one.
Yeah. I think when you have a guy, and I thought about this, and I'll say it out loud to y'all, when I was coaching, Philip and Will, and I said, if those guys play, we could beat anybody. If they're on, we could beat anybody. I feel the same way about Jaden Daniel. If he cannot turn the ball over and be creative, like he was down the stretch against the Bucks and like he was all year long, probably going to be Rookie of the Year, they've got a chance against the Lions. I want to have time before Missy has to go and we have the Paint Creek girls join us, is you cannot look at this weekend and not be excited and feel sorry for the Ravens and the Bills.
I am nervous.
Somebody's got to lose.
Oh.
And I put this out, and then I'm going to turn it over and talk about what do we think this means more to. One, this past week, Good Morning NFL, Good Morning Football was talking about matching wrestlers with players. And then Ian Fitzsimmons said wrestlers to the teams that are left in the playoffs. And I grew up watching WCW back in the day, the Four Horsemen and all that. And there used to be what they call those I Quit matches. And Tully Blanchard went against Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, in an I Quit match. And they interviewed Tully Blanchard like, there's no way I'm going to say I quit. And Dusty Rhodes, there's no way I'm going to say I quit. That's what I feel like we have Sunday night, is we have an I Quit match. And who's going to be the one that just doesn't get it done Sunday night? And then they talked about it on Unsportsmanlike. On Monday, instead of celebrating the one that won, the talk will be who didn't get it done. And I think we've got a fantastic game coming up Sunday night.
You are 100% correct that Monday morning's pontificating will be on Josh Allen and or Lamar Jackson can't win when they need to.
What are your thoughts? Who do you have? What do you think is going to happen in that
Well,
game?
here's what has to happen if you're the Bills, and I want the Bills to win because I'm moving my fanship to Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
Maybe permanently. I'm considering it. I don't know if there's an application.
You have to jump through a table.
Well, I can do
would
that.
also like an application.
You jump through a table and you're in the Bill Mafia.
Yeah. Well, I'll submit my resume. But for the Bills to win, Derrick Henry can't get 200 yards. That's what happened.
I think he's got to stay under 150.
Well, yes. I mean, 200 yards obviously was the worst gashing that the Bills took to a running back this year. That can't happen. So the Bills have to set up to control the running game, which will force Lamar Jackson to have to do things passing. And if you look at the history of Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, his passing has historically been a little erratic. So I do think that the Bills have to force Lamar Jackson to pass. And Lamar Jackson has the talent to do that and still beat you. But that will be what he has to get through, is that past history of, if you remember, I guess it was against the Chiefs, was it last year, that the Chiefs beat them, and the Chiefs were down last year. They were in Baltimore, and the Chiefs did exactly that, made Lamar Jackson pass, and he threw under 50%, and the Chiefs won. So that's kind of the recipe that the Bills have to follow, and I think they can do it. And either way, it's going to be an awesome atmosphere, because that whole thing just really kind of gets me fired up, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. You're right about Lamar. He does get erratic. So hopefully their defense can really shut them down. But I just, Josh has to look good. I mean,
I do look good, thanks.
Allen.
Oh.
Josh Allen has to play dang near perfect. I mean, he needs the throws have to be there. Everybody has to show up. The O-line has to be present. So I'm really curious to see what happens. Y'all know Josh and I have both been on Bills Mafia for the last 3 or 4 years, and man, I want the Bills to win, but I am so nervous because the Ravens are a good team.
You know, and we talk about that. We got a couple minutes, and I want to come back and do college football before Misty has to go. It's going to be which defense can stop the other.
Yeah.
Because I do anticipate, I know that's an oxymoron or not a moron, but it may just be a moron. But I anticipate both of them to play well. I really do. It's almost like a 6-man football game. Who's going to get a stop? Who can stop the other and force? This is a game where a special teams play may be the difference. Or the one in, if you're watching 2 tennis people and they just keep going, waiting for somebody to make a mistake, who does throw the interception? Who does fumble? And I think James Cook, as much as Derrick Henry's got to be a force, the Bills have got to be able to run the football, because then it now allows everything to be open. And so I look forward to a great Monday night or Sunday night game. All right, I know you're cheering for the Bills. Do they win?
Yes.
Do the Chiefs beat the Texans?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got the Rams beating the Eagles. I think
love to see it.
I actually would love to see it. I was thinking about, and in my little pick thing, I was thinking about picking the Eagles, but now Hodge has convinced me that maybe I don't need to do that. So
I mean, don't count the Rams out. They're
but, I mean,
a big win against the Vikings.
if I can reverse curse
don't take
the
away
Eagles into
playing for the
losing,
people
I might lose my pick.
And we're going to go commercial, but don't take away both. Oh no, the other one did. Playing for LA.
No, I'm with you.
Emotional wise,
I'm with you.
Emotional wise, all those things. When we come back, Monday's a big day, and it ends with the national championship. We'll pick our winner right after this. Ladies, you got a lot of people loving on you. Baddies. I think I know what Baddies stands for. Oh my gosh, hey Baddies, tell the PC girls I love y'all. Maddie from Maddie Aston.
Hey, let's get a quick picture.
Misty, Silvis.
All of us in. If y'all will line up right
We love
here,
y'all. Mom loves you.
because the picture will be taken from here, so we're gonna have to get close. Let's make a couple of moves. Yeah, just kind of get.
You're very quiet.
We
I
might
thought
have to do
this
this
many
Act
people
like you-
behind me.
front,
No, it's all right.
so we're going this
It's
way. We're gonna get in here so everybody can make it. Hodges come in. How are we fitting or no?
If I do halftime, I can make it.
Okay. Where's Hodge?
Don't act like I'm not doing a team photo.
I'm gonna kind of get close to you guys over here.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Ladies, we're going to come back and we'll talk college football, and then we'll bring y'all on.
Sir. Yeah, sir's a pretty loose statement. They're too polite.
That's why they're winning, Josh.
Winning at life.
I really need the Lions and the Bills to win this week.
I was gonna say, one thing about the Lions, though, is they haven't had a bye since week 4.
Yes.
This is their chance for them to get healthy.
Yeah, I think it should benefit the Lions because of the injuries. And I'm a Lions fan. Like, I want the Lions and the Bills to win this weekend. Those are the 2 teams I'm like, please pull through.
Lions win.
Gosh, it would be the perfect weekend for me.
Lions
I want the
win.
Lions to
And
win.
Jerry,
Lions and Bills.
I'll get. Do you have Will Dunham's number?
I don't think so.
Oh, we're coming back. Welcome back to the Hodge Pack Sports Life and everything in between. We'll have our Big Country Electric My Town segment right after we get ready to set you up for the college football playoff. The national championship is set. Ohio State, Notre Dame. It's going to be great. I hope it's a great game. We've had some decent games. We've led up. The Final Four was good. The
It was
Final
good.
Four games
It was good.
led up to this national championship. Before we get to that, Quinn Ewers makes the decision not to transfer, but declares for the NFL draft. Kind of shocks me a little bit when a lot of money was on the table to go to another team. But maybe he's doing it because it's not a great loaded quarterback draft like it was last year. Well, interesting to see what Quinn does, and now it looks like for sure the Arch Manning era will begin. But it doesn't start till next year because he's not playing Monday night. Notre Dame, Ohio State is playing. Will Howard, who was the K-State guy, now is playing really, really well.
Really well.
And you got, is it the luck of the Irish? Is it Marcus Freeman? I don't know. You've got a guy named Brian Kelly. I'm leaving Notre Dame because I'm going to win. I want to win national championships. I'm going to go to LSU. Well, they're a game away from winning it all Monday, Brian. You can go hang out with your family. And so I'm excited about Monday night. I've got Notre Dame winning it. My Final Four was just one shy of it.
You did really well.
And my finals doesn't have Texas. It has Notre Dame and I had Notre Dame and Texas. We got Ohio State and Notre Dame.
That Texas game was wild.
A lot of second guessing on Sark. Why is
Yeah.
Arch not in? Get under center. I'm a big believer. I know I'm a basketball guy that coached football but love things. I'm still to this day. I don't care if you're 6-man, 11-man. You got to be able to get under center when you need a yard, fall forward.
Well,
Bottom
right,
line.
and
And multiple chances.
first and goal on the 1 yard line. That's really just like you got four
Ground
chances.
and pound.
You got four chances just to go straight up the middle, and I like.
And I'm a big believer on one of them, either first down, second down, somewhere in between, little play action when they think,
Yeah,
make it an obvious play action, but you got to find a way to get that done. And what stinks about it is when that happens and you lose 365 days till next year's tryout, you have to wait to start all over again. And so Texas is out, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
will Texas be a real SEC team next year?
Do you have to do it twice?
I mean, I don't know. That was the thing. Everyone was talking about how bad the SEC did, and people were like, "Well, but Texas is still in." Oh, they're not really in the SEC. But I mean, I don't know. That was just my side thought.
So
Talk
your
amongst
thoughts
yourselves.
on going into this game? I think Riley Leonard's going to be the difference. I think he played well the other night. Jeremiah Love, the touchdown that he had of like dragging everybody into the end zone, I thought was just glorious. Unfortunately, Ben Franklin and them lost. I don't think it was Ben Franklin, or not Ben Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, yes.
James Franklin. Give me
I
those
was- I was
Benjamins.
like-
Just went back to history
I was
class.
like, "What are you talking about?" I guess he was.
He did,
He was from Pennsylvania also.
but I kept going and y'all bought in.
Well, because I
But
was
unfortunately-
confused.
Unfortunately, James Franklin, Penn State flew the kite and it didn't go as well. But I think it's going to be a good game. At least I'm hoping for it. But an 8-point favorite is Ohio State.
Shoot, that's the line right there. I read 9.5. Maybe take
Maybe
the
it
eight.
went up. I don't know.
Well, just in general, the line is large. The little sports predictor app thing that I look at on my phone gives Notre Dame a 44% chance to win, which is a very low percentage actually for most games. When I look at that, it's much closer than that. The 52-48 type of thing, and this one, swinging the other way. And really, when you listen to any national media broadcast stuff on it, I haven't really heard much talk of giving Notre Dame much of a chance at all.
If you're Ohio State, if I'm Ohio State, that doesn't bother me. But from a fan, I'm like, when they say you have no chance to win, now my chip on the shoulder for Notre Dame grows and says, you know what? Why can't it be us?
Well,
Nobody's had us here, and we go on a run after losing to Northern Illinois, and now look where we're at.
Well, and that's exactly it. When you're such an underdog that people aren't giving you a chance, it actually frees you up to not be. You're not held back by this the moment because I got nothing to lose.
Like the pressure is off.
It's go out there and go all out because
Just
we're
have fun.
supposed to lose this
Yeah,
game.
just have fun.
And in either team that wins Monday night, is going to solidify and justify the portal. Both their quarterbacks, free agents. Both of their quarterbacks did not go to freshman orientation at these two schools. And it's going to show why this has changed the game, in the words of Cody Jinks, who you can hear on 106.9 Country Giant, has changed the game, and you're going to see that very evident Monday night. And so,
And Will Howard, I think, is one of the funniest examples of it, because he left Kansas State.
after playing in a Big 12 championship game,
Yes. And when he went to Ohio State, I was kind of like, huh? Like I thought he was kind of a running quarterback that, kind of.
and to me, how impressive is it for Ohio State, Ryan Day, and their staff to say, we want that guy? And maybe it's because he was a winner. Maybe it's because they saw other things in him and said, if we put him in our system, he could be even better, even greater. Because it'd be the equivalent of going to Air Force, who runs the flex bone, and said, you know what? Let's take him to Tech. Let's take him to the run and shoot.
And so it really kind of, when I saw that happened, I was kind of like taken aback by it. I was like, well, I mean, yes, that Kansas State was a good team, but I never watched them play until I was like, man, that Will Howard, he's got NFL written all over him. And now he's running an offense that's just blowing the doors off of people.
Well, and I love it as a former coach, and Coach Moody will understand this as a coach as well. A little bit of redemption, and I'm not ever saying the number one gesture is something you should give anybody. But Ryan Day, for a guy that everybody's putting probably RE/MAX signs in their yard and telling them to go to Coleman County State Bank and get a mortgage because we need you to move, and now is a win away from the national championship, and may still say want to get fired because you didn't beat Michigan. I think it's cool in his story. And then you got Marcus Freeman, who played at Ohio State, coaching against them. A lot of storylines.
And you were absolutely right. And we talked about this going into that first week. If Ohio State got bounced in the first round of the playoffs, there would be massive calls to fire
For his job.
Ryan Day. He would have left.
And would be the new coach at Chicago or anywhere, because somebody would have taken
Oh,
it.
right.
All right, so want to be respectful of Misty's time and the Lady Pirates. Who do you have winning Monday night? Do you care? What do you want for the college football playoff? It comes to an end. Most anticipated season of all time. Lived up to the bracket getting there. Not very good during. The Final Four was good. What do you want to see Monday night, Misty College?
I don't really care about either one of these teams. I will be watching because I love football.
It's coming close to an end.
And it is, and it's getting sad. Yeah, we're getting to like the doom and gloom era because football's about to be over. But
Yes.
I had Oregon going all the way, and Ohio State busted me. So I'm gonna go Ohio State. And I like the redemption for Ryan Day because there has been so much talk about, oh, he needs to get fired. I mean, every show in America was talking about that. And so for that reason, I'm going Ohio State. I'm going to say they win by 12.
I guess I have to go with Ohio State also. I don't want to. It's Marcus Freeman did something that I think is incredible, and it should be like the number one thing on his resume, and that is he made me actually kind of cheer for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I've been anti for a long time.
Well, and
Riley Leonard, like, were people that just the way they carry themselves and the way they do what they do, it's like I want those guys to win.
And so you got Ohio State.
I got Ohio State, but hopefully it goes the other way.
I've got Notre Dame. I think it's a difference. I can't win our bracket because I'm here. But I think Evan Harris and I are battling on who wins the college football pick'em bracket challenge. I'll be honest with you. Riley Leonard had Duke on the right way to be in the ACC championship last year, and he got hurt. He's a guy I'm rooting for. And Marcus Freeman has created such a culture that in this year that what he's done, people are saying, does he need to go to the NFL? And I'm going to tell you, you're better off whether you're Sark, Dion, maybe a little different. Marcus Freeman, stay in college. because you're going to impact more lives and make more money. I've got Riley Leonard and the Fighting Irish winning Monday night. It'll be a close game. They're not going to have to do it with a field goal. They're going to win 28-24.
What's your
Will
score?
Howard does not get it done. Stop, and that's how it ends.
I think I do think that that's going to be where the score
Didn't get closer.
ends up. I don't think that I would, if I was going to put money on it, I don't think I'd put it on Ohio State to cover.
Well, I have to wear these. Missy's leaving. Those that are watching on Facebook, yesterday was my birthday. Appreciate everybody, all the shout outs and all the things. When we come back, we're going to get some shout outs to some Lady Pirates from Paint Creek and Coach Moody. We got a lot of people watching back in the 940. We'll be back right after this. I couldn't tell which ones I should take off first.
That's so cute. Okay. Yeah, I literally set an alarm and put get Ryan's birthday crown or like something I like wanted, so I didn't forget. Okay. Yeah, I can. Or I'll do
Send it
that.
to me.
Yes.
I've got his number.
Yeah.
Did you have Will Dunham's number?
No.
Send that to me.
Okay.
Will wants that.
Yeah, give me a minute because I got to get on the road. But
No, we don't need it
Will
right
be
now.
here, but we've got one of our coworkers is celebrating.
All right, so ladies, we got some time.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Probably what we'll do
Sorry.
is we'll get Coach Moody and Mike. Is there anybody that doesn't want to talk? Okay.
You're gonna hang in the back.
Yeah. Okay. So those that are going to talk, obviously, there's a lot more of you than me. Name?
Cameron Damaso.
Cameron.
Blythe Waters.
Blake. What?
Blythe Waters.
Blythe. Okay. I went to college with a girl. Her last name was Blythe. Alexia. Alexa. Okay. Adriana.
No.
Val. All right, even the ones that aren't talking, I'm still going to say that you're here.
You got Erica,
Erica, there you go. That's a good job on not talking already.
Josiah,
Kasaya,
Lacey,
Lacey,
and Sharita.
Sharida. Okay. All right, so here's who wants to be our main talkers.
Val's a senior, so I'm not sure.
All right, so Val, you'll come up. Are you the lone senior? Okay. All right, so Val's lone senior. Val. Okay. I'll do this. 15-6, 6 wins in 23, 3 wins in 22, non-existent in 21. Right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right, so if y'all just gather around, y'all will share that mic and just be sure you're talking to it. Coach Moody, we'll start with him. Who is Will Dunham's niece? All right, there you go. Will's Cam, hello. Josh is looking good. I don't know. My mom said Josh looking good. I don't know what that means.
I'll get the yellow.
So YouTube.
All right, so we'll do that. We got a couple more commercials. So what we'll just talk about, hey, so I'll give you a little backstory of why I wanted y'all to come on. And I told this to Coach Moody. I think I might have said this to Casey. I'm proud of what you're doing because when I coached at Roby, I was the boys coach a long time ago. But what it was, Paint Creek was struggling. But what y'all are doing and turning it around and the excitement and all those things, we talked about Coach Freeman changing a culture. Coach Moody and you girls are changing a culture. And I think it's cool. And that's why I wanted to bring you on. That's why I thought y'all'd be a cool story. And so we're going to talk about that. What are we in district? How did the last couple weeks go?
Well, now we're gonna be in the hole, but we just, this number not out of it, but it's a big game tonight. And then
Who do y'all play tonight?
Rotan.
All right, the Lady Yellowhammers. Okay. All right, so we're about to come back. All right, so Hey, I'm gonna start with Coach, and then I've got Cam, Blythe, Alexa, Adriana, and Val. Okay. Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports life and everything in between. Right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. And when you hear that, you know it's time for our Big Country Electric My Town segment, brought to you by Big Country Electric Cooperative, where the co-op is serving and taking care of their members each and every day out of 3 offices, Roby, Snyder, and Stanford. We appreciate them very much, doing all that they do. Again, cold weather, all the things, they take care of them. We highlight a local player, coach, or program, and today we're highlighting coach, players, and program. The Paint Creek Lady Pirates are joining us in studio, our Potosi Live studio. Coach Moody is here and some girls, and we're going to talk about it. Coach, we appreciate you taking the time this morning.
I appreciate it. You have it. Thank you.
And again, the Lady Pirates are having a good year and turning some things around. And Coach, talk a little bit how long you've been at Paint Creek and kind of the journey and where we are today.
Well, this is my second year at Paint Creek, and it's been one of those years where, it's been a nice bounce back from what we had last year. Of course, what happened was actually 3 years ago, I played the Paint Creek Girls when I was at Brooksmith, and it was not pretty. I mean, you've been to tournaments where you play schools, and it's just one-sided victory. And then next thing you know, looking for a job, and Paint Creek is available, and it was one of those places you did not really feel comfortable going to because of what you saw on the court. But going from 3 wins that year, last year was my first year there, we got it up to 6 wins, and this year we're at 15, and hopefully add a few more before this year's over.
And again, we start talking about how coaches change and players can change cultures. It is about X's and O's and Jimmy and Joe's, or Janes and Doe's, as what they say on the girls' side. So Val, you're the senior.
Yes, sir.
You're getting to see the change from what it was to what it is now. Talk a little bit about how things are different under Coach Moody when practices happen, games happen, the difference in the culture that's at Paint Creek right now.
Honestly, the difference from 4 years from now, I mean, I didn't even have a team my freshman year. And then our sophomore year, I feel like compared to this year and last year, we have more confidence in ourselves and we're more family. Like,
where do you think that confidence came? Of course, no team to 3 to 6. It's not a whole lot of fun playing basketball by yourself. Where do you think that confidence comes from? Coaches, players, community, where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from everyone. Like, my teammates, they push each other to be better. We encourage each other. Our coach especially, he's not just our coach, but he's our family, and he's like, I know you can do better, go do better, and he pushes us to do our best.
And it's got to be a great thing as the lone senior. Hey, when I graduate, and Coach talked about it, got some tough games left, but really looking back, when it's done, whether it's at state tournament or wherever it's at, you can look back and, the legacy that you've left to set, and we'll start talking to the underclassmen. What you've left has got to be a rewarding thing to kind of leave that mark at Paint Creek.
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, so Blythe, you're close to the mic. We'll start with you. What's it been like for you to be on this journey of a change?
It's been amazing just to see how much we're growing as a team. Every single game we get closer, and it's really amazing to be a part of it because, like we said, coming here, it's like a movie. Like, we really are changing it, and it's only going to get better from there.
Well, and I think you're exactly right. When you start seeing that change, and to me, and we'll go with Alexa, right? Correct? I won't, not like Alexa asked me to answer this question, but really, Alexa, you're going to answer the next question and just talk into it. What does it mean to be a part of it and then getting to send Val out as a senior on being on this run as well?
She helps us. She, as a senior, I feel like she's something we look up to. We look up to her a lot.
Yeah. And so, and then Adriana, I'll ask you the same thing. in that, what does it mean like that? Is it Adriana? Am I saying it right?
Yes,
Okay.
Adrian.
And if you need to tell that down to you, you're fine. I have to do that sometimes too. Is that y'all are getting to create these milestones for people, for Paint Creek, like Will Donovan and others that went to school there. Hey, sports is coming back. Paint Creek's coming back. How much of it does that mean to you to be a part of that? And of course, you got the Lady Yellowhammers tonight.
It's actually really like fun to be a part of it because hearing everyone talk about it and like post about it and knowing that when we play, they're watching it personally, like physically on like in the gym and on their phones on NFHS. It's like amazing.
Well, you're bringing in, well, Cam, we'll go to you next. Is it Cam or Cameron? What do you go all about? Because Uncle Will, is it Uncle Will?
Yes.
He's saying Cam. So I'm going to go Cam. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So we all know whether you're big school or small school, but especially small school, things revolve around what's going on. If there's a stock show, everybody goes to the stock show. There's a football game, everybody's going to the football game. What does it mean now that people, and Adriana talked about it, are coming to watch Lady Pirate basketball? And no offense to the boys, but coming to watch athletics. Football's done good, a lot better, turning things around, being part of that. What has that meant like that now you're the show in town and it's worth watching?
Yes, sir. It feels really good that everyone wants to come see us, especially with the success we've been having this year. It really helps also build confidence for us.
Well, and I agree. And Coach, you understand this as somebody that's coached, that's done those things. When you start seeing that, and going back to Val, and what grade, just real quick, you can just say it out real loud.
A junior,
Freshman.
That's young, people. But what does that mean? And we've got some others at the back, Lacey and Sharita and Erica, right?
Freshman, 2 sophomores, and a junior back there.
All right, so all young kids. But you're setting that to where the kids in elementary PE class want to be Lady Pirates one day, playing the second to last time slot. And to me, that's huge. And Coach, how is that filtered down to younger kids, junior high? Are they getting that excitement too, based on what these girls are doing?
I believe that, the girls winning, last year I had there's 5 freshmen in this room. But last year, the junior high was extremely good last year. Of course, they moved up to the high school level. I still have a few more eighth graders that are going to help out next year. I mean, it's going to be a successful program for the next handful of years. It's something exciting to be a part of. Also, you can only have 5 girls on the floor, but I will say these girls have commented on how it is a family. Last year, we had 6 girls, I think, on the team total. I had 1 girl on the bench. The bench was quiet.
Right.
The gyms were quiet. I mean, how many times did we go places and we look in the stands and it's like, and maybe you got 1 or 2 moms or dads in the stands watching. There was we didn't have
Not a lot of ticket sales.
Not a lot of people in the stands. But this year, the stands. I mean, they're getting a lot more kids. 1, that helps. A lot more families in the stands, that helps. But 2, the benches engaged every game. They're cheering, and again, whether it's one of the starters that's on the bench, probably just foul trouble. But if they're on the bench, or the girls that are in the background here that don't want to come up here and talk, they're engaged in the game. They're part of the team. Again, whether you're on the floor, whether you're on the bench, it's a family. It's the community is involved with it. I mean, stands are actually filled with people wearing our colors, and it's big for us. And of course, I have one of our kids here. Her sister is a 5th grader. Well, 2. Right, you have 2 5th graders that are in this family, or that 5th graders in 6th grade, 1A school. They're playing junior high basketball next year, so they're following your sister's footsteps, and hopefully, I mean, it'll be something that we can kind of build on for the next handful of years. But with the junior high girls that I have, plus again only 1 senior, I mean, it's going to be a fun handful of years coming up.
So let's talk about the end. I mean, not for everybody, regardless. I mean, you look at it; it'll be the state tournament before long. Talk about the end, what you got to do to find a way to get that other a playoff spot, and you talked about how it kind of starts tonight.
Well, before the year started, I told the girls, I said it to them again yesterday, playoffs were a possibility. That's what I told them at the beginning of the year. I said, I expect the playoffs should be a possibility, whereas last year, 6 wins, it was just getting through the season. Well, again, we stubbed our toe the other night. We're kind of in a hole a little bit, but I mean, we could play with Rotan tonight. I mean, we were down by 4 or 5 points in the third quarter before my primary ball handler and Blythe right here, that, you know, she's the main big, before they got in foul trouble. And then after that, it just kind of the wheels fell apart. So, I mean, if we can stay out of foul trouble and play the game that I know we're capable of, I mean, we can come back and take this game tonight, and that'll.
Are you on the road or at home?
It's a home game for us tonight, so that should help us, but.
So that means Paint Creek, show up, be loud tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. And again, so if we do that, then it makes the senior night for Val at the end of the year versus Hamlin huge, because right now, we're sitting in the fifth spot, and, you know, just for these girls, it's like I said, there was a possibility this year. Next year, to me, it's probably in the playoffs, and that's what I told them. It's like, we're gonna be better next year than we are this year. But I told the girls also, we're not gonna be a story next year, we're a story this year. Next
Right.
year, what did Lex say yesterday? We're not, this year we're a story, but next year what? We're a movie.
There you go. And again, it's got to start with a chapter. Val, as the senior, I'm going to let you have the last word. What do you want, and what are you going to take away from this senior, and what do you want to take away?
I think overall, I'm gonna take away like how hard we fought to be where we are, and I want to take away that because it not only makes us stronger people, but it gives other people things to look up to.
Well, and I think the other deal, and then I'll end with this. One, play defense with your feet, not your hands. If you're the big, don't go over the back, just slide around. I'm not reffing tonight. I do ref. I'm not reffing. I'm taking that off. Don't foul 94 feet away from the basket. That never helped. Sorry, Coach. I did it for 10 years, and there's parts that I missed.
Maybe they'll listen to you.
But I do want to encourage you, enjoy it, and understand no matter what happens, and get after it tonight and go give the Pipers a run for their money. Enjoy it and embrace it, because you guys, you ladies, have helped create that step. And then when you graduate and you go, what's your plan after college or after high school?
After high school, I'm gonna go to McMurray University, and I'm gonna go for my master's degree, and then I'm gonna pursue sonography.
All right, perfect. You're going to come back and watch next year's team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And be excited of what you've done. And so y'all get to create and carry on the movie so the chapter doesn't end. And so I appreciate you ladies coming in. You got a lot of people watching, a lot of people that are behind you. Tell them to download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast, and then you'll be able to say, I've been on the same podcast as Kirk Herbstreit and Laura Rutledge and some others. And so appreciate y'all coming in. I preach in Rotan, so I got to be careful, but good luck tonight. And all those things. Sorry, Rotan. I mean, just go play, enjoy it. Give it all you got. And then when you know you're done, then you give it all you got. So appreciate y'all coming in. Coach, I appreciate y'all making the journey. Girls, thank y'all for coming too. You're a huge role, whether you talk, play, or whatever, huge role in making the impact for Paint Creek. So appreciate you ladies coming in.
Thank you.
All right, again, that's the Paint Creek Lady Pirates taking care of business at a big game tonight. And Val, what did you say you were majoring in?
Sonography.
What is that?
That's ultrasound tech.
Oh, there you go. I haven't had one. So, all right, here we go. When we come back, Josh and I will send you to the weekend.
Appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate you, ladies. Appreciate you, guys. Oh, that was good. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Good to see you. Val, good luck. Blythe, Alexa, Ariana, Adriana, Erica, Cherie, Erica, Josiah. Josiah, Lacey, there you go. I turned 46.
I was going to say, you can't hear.
I turned 47 yesterday. I'm not old. Yeah.
They send me the pictures like it's
Yeah.
down to whoever else can go post it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I think Missy just sent it to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll send it to you. Thank y'all.
Best of luck to y'all.
Good luck tonight.
Let's go.
Yes, it's down there on the left. That door that's closed out there. Oh. We got no time, Hodge.
Huh? You can go if you need to.
I'm gonna finish the show. I'm not bailing on you.
Do you think y'all people have lunch? Are y'all going to tonight?
Yeah.
Lunch today too, or no?
I'm sure I will. What are you doing?
Lunch. But they did a good job. When she said second time I realized what she said, sonogram. At first I thought it was, she said like oceanography. I was like, cool.
I thought she said stenography, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Stenography's writing, isn't it?
We're very intelligent people.
I got a face and a brain for radio.
I have thought about that, how many times in a day I'm like, just,
Hey, what we'll do is we'll go through the headlines that we kind of talk about eating of the weekend. Coach Lucas, coaching job. Here we go.
like last night I saw somebody that was
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack Sports Live and everything in between as we get ready to send you to the weekend. Last weekend, not really the weekend, but on Monday of college football, the national championship game is Monday night. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. We've already gave our picks. Josh and Misty have Ohio State. I've got Notre Dame, and I think Riley Leonard will be the defense, or be the difference. If he's the defense,
That's a problem.
He threw an interception. He's now tackling, and we don't want that to happen. Going back over some of the headlines that happened as we head into the weekend. Again, Coach Russell Lucas from Sweetwater announcing his retirement. 35 years in education, has done a great job, great success where he's been. And I'm sure he's looking forward to being a grandfather. And again, it would not surprise me if the Texas High School Coaches Association tried to get him to do some work for them. We talked about also the bill being passed, the Protection of Women's and Girls in Sports Act. Great job on that being passed. I think a great decision. Just you saw with these ladies in here, they'll know they'll be protected when they go to compete. Job openings that have been filled, those are the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, the only one that's been hired so far. Everybody else, for the most part, those candidates are in the playoffs, except Dion, and he has talked to, looks like he's the only one that's really had any conversation. Has the Robert Saleh interview happened? I did see that was.
There were 2 interviews scheduled with the Cowboys. I don't think they've happened yet, but they're.
Did you know who the other one was?
Leslie Frazier.
Oh, okay. Former Buffalo Bills,
Yes.
Minnesota Vikings
Mm-hmm.
guy. Okay. And so, of course, Mike McCarthy is out. I would not be surprised. I don't think he'll get the Bears job. He might, but I could see him possibly being the Saints head coach because, to me, the Saints need a guy. You know, their name was Sean Payton, and nothing against Dennis Allen. Then you went blank, and then so I think Mike McCarthy would be a good fit there. And then, of course, we mentioned, again, Bob Uecker made me want to look up all the lines because Just About Outside was great, but also you'll need a visa to catch that one.
Look up some of his WWE, WWF back at the time stuff, where pretty funny stuff.
No, and again, he passed away at the age of 90. We mentioned Coach McCarty from Colorado as we were talking about the Dion situation, passing as well. But Josh, this weekend, and we got about a minute, this weekend is big because we talked about the Bills game. I think Dan Campbell still has a lot to prove for the Lions fan base. We talk about culture with the Lady Pirates. All these teams that are making this comeback or for the first time ever are being relevant.
Yes, it is, and this is the last big weekend of football, really. I mean, it's the last multiple day, because next week we just have Sunday, then we have a week off, and then the Super Bowl. So we're close to the end. Misty mentioned it, but it's now basketball season, which no offense to people that like basketball, it doesn't move the needle for me like football does. At our house last night, Luke asked me what game was on tonight, and I was like, no game. He's like, it's Thursday, and I said, no game.
Yeah, no more Thursday games, no more Fridays. It's Saturday, Sunday. Next week will be 2 Sunday games, and that'll be it. Hey, we appreciate you tuning in. Again, Paint Creek folks, Download, subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you so much to Coach Moody and the Lady Pirates. Josh, appreciate everybody being back. We'll be back next week with more Hodge Pack, sports life, and everything in between. We'll have NFC Championship, AFC Championship set, and a national champion in college football. Have a great weekend. Again, good luck to all the stock show people this weekend. JB Cloud, Greg Austin, the rest of the weekend. See y'all. Be back next Friday.
Good to meet y'all. I gotta run to work. I'll holler at you later, Raj.
All right, we'll see you. My plan is lunch, so.